Hello, and thank you for joining me today. So it's the brand new year, and it's 2018. It's the 10th of January, and it's probably about 11 o'clock in the morning, Australian time, Eastern Standard Time in Australia. So why am I here today? I've decided that you've heard about deconstructed pavlovas and deconstructed foods. So this is deconstructed Kathryngene, and today I'm deconstructed. I'm just as I am. My hair, as you can see, is greying, and there's no makeup on. It's just me, the raw me. And the raw me wants to take some time today to start the first day of my journal of Hashimotos disease. Many years ago, for all of you that have been looking at my progress and what I've been doing, in the early 90s, I suffered from agoraphobic anxiety. Agoraphobic anxiety actually really trapped me for 7 years of my life when my children were very young, and it was because of that I started a journey on hypnotherapy and the mind and how strong we are, and I got a very big passion for trying to unlimit and help people to unlimit themselves. A few years ago, two of my daughters were getting married about 2 years ago. And of course, like every mother, you want to make yourself look really absolutely great and lose that weight and do what you can. I had a very big battle on my hands back then to try and lose weight. And I couldn't understand why, because I was eating correctly and I was exercising and I was ticking all the boxes that you tick for losing weight. But something wasn't happening. And I did what probably a lot of us do. We look for that quick, easy way to get those kilos started. And particularly with my daughter's weddings looming, I was like, oh my God, I want to get into that size whatever dress and, put those high heel shoes on, get the makeup on, the hair looking great, definitely colour it. And I just wasn't getting there. So I decided to go on a weight loss tablet. And I did that. And for my first daughter's wedding, I managed to get down to 75 kilos. And that was still 15 kilos above what I should be. But I was down to 75 kilos. And I think at that stage I would have lost maybe about 7 kilos. And I'd been trying for months. So doing these tablets, I thought, okay, that's fine. So I got over the first daughter's wedding, which was mid-year, and then a few months later my other daughter got married. And of course the rush was then on again to try and do that. Well, I actually started to gain weight again, and instead of losing it, it was gaining it. And I was on my limit of what I could take with tablets, and also being a naturopath, I realised that I wasn't doing the right thing. At the stage when I did this, I wasn't a naturopath. I was actually looking at studying naturopathy. So I just want to clarify that, because you'd be thinking, well, what's a naturopath going and taking fast tablets to lose weight? Well, I didn't have the knowledge that I do today. And particularly I don't have the knowledge that I gained in the last few months of the later part of 2017. So apart from everything else with the weight gain and going from being around 58 to 60 kilos up to my highest weight I've ever reached, which was 89.7 kilos. And at the same time last year, finishing my course in naturopathy, and the immense pressure of study coupled with just life and how we have things that go on, and the birth of my two granddaughters, which are absolutely beautiful, that I discovered that I was so very, very fatigued, very tired, just really tired more than what I am. I'm a person that's very energetic, and I lost that. I also realised about the year before I was getting a lot of hair loss, and I actually asked my hairdresser why, but it was, they didn't really know, and see a doctor. And apart from the fatigue, I had what we call brain fog. So I'd be reading something that I'm trying to study, and I couldn't remember it for the life of me. I just was having such a hard time trying to remember things, and forgetful like I couldn't believe. I mean, it's not something I am, but I was very, very forgetful. And then comes in the moods. My mood was low. It wouldn't take. I was super, super sensitive, and it didn't take much to have me in tears, and to the point that, you know, I would cry without reason. And it wasn't till I was at my son's place for a family dinner in mid last year that they were all gathered there, and I absolutely love my family. And anyone who's had an opportunity to look at any of my other videos or read my story will know that my dream from when I was a little person was to have what I call the Waltons family. And if you ever saw the Waltons show on TV when you were growing up, you'll know exactly what I mean. And like with my anxieties, and I probably get tearful again here now, that like with my anxieties, it was when I sat at my family dinner table with all my young children and having my Waltons table that I had an anxiety attack, and it crippled me, and it meant I lost the one thing that I wanted and loved all my life to have, and that pushed me into trying to get a cure for my anxieties, which in the end was through hypnotherapy. But bringing you on to now, here I was again at my son's place at a family dinner that his partner had cooked, and it was wonderful. Thank you. And I found myself in tears. I don't know why. I don't know why I was. I was sad. I was so sad. My sons were watching, and son-in-laws were watching the TV. There was football on. There was a lot of joyousness. There was a lot of, you know, laughing and joking. Yet I was there crying. And I made an excuse that I had a bad sty in my eye and that it was making me tearful, and I left. I knew there was something wrong with me, but I didn't know what. Anyway, a few months after that, I had something happen that had a call for me to have a blood test. And when the blood test came through, it showed that my liver was in not good order, and that my thyroids had a bit of an issue too. So I, of course, being in my course doing my naturopathy, we had clinic, and I became a case study. And I took my blood tests along to clinic, and we were discussed and everything, and they came up with herbal tonics and tinctures and formulas and supplements, and I think I got the best lot of a whole lot of girls in that class. And if you ever watch it, thank you girls, I really loved it. And thank you to our supervisor too. She was absolutely brilliant, Linda, who is also a naturopath and very well qualified one as that. So I started on that journey, and of course the herbal tinctures picked up my mood, and I wasn't crying as much, so that was good. But I had to keep going back to see how I was progressing with my liver, which I was bringing back into order through supplements and other lifestyle changes, which was to absolutely cut out all alcohol whatsoever. And when I went in for my final blood test, probably around about late November, it would have been in 2017, it was discovered that what I actually had was Hashimotos disease. Hashimotos disease, when you look at it, and I'll be doing a writing about it and putting it up onto the Facebook site and on my website as well, that Hashimotos disease, I was ticking all the boxes of what it has. And so hence I've had to look at, again, what I can do. For those of you who don't know what Hashimoto's is, it's your T3, your T4s, they're not working very well. And my antibodies are too many antibodies, so they're attacking me. So I basically have an autoimmune disease. I wanted to do this journal because if I had been able to do this in not 2000, it would have been 1993, 94. If I'd been able to do this on video and give you my story of my journey through anxiety and depression and suicidal tendencies, I would hope that it might have shown people that I came through that dark period and I was able to move on. And again, I now take this opportunity of technology and social media to be able to go out to as many people as possible and to say that this is my first part of my video journal of me with Hashimotos and how I'm going to go through the next year or two in trying to alter or even maybe trying to recapture part of myself back again and improving my health. And in improving my health will be my weight loss. I no means and meaning for this for anyone out there listening to me and saying that they've got a lot of weight loss and they can't get ready and I seem to be ticking your boxes by what I'm saying. Please, and I mean this, do not run out and think you've got Hashimoto's disease. There is so many reasons why people have weight loss, and being apart from the fact if it's not a medical reason, it very well could be a mental health reason. And I welcome anyone who wants to message me on my Facebook site, the Hypnotherapy Hub or Hypnotherapy Australia, to message me, and I will respond free of charge to try and help you twig any of those ways with weight loss, or even if you're suffering anxiety or depression. I volunteer at Lifeline, so I have a good idea of how people are feeling when they're getting down and out, and of course with suicide as well. And I'm also a speaker for Beyond Blue on the subject of anxiety, depression and suicide. So I do public speaking, so if anyone wants me to come along to anything, I'm quite welcome to contact me and ask me, and I'd love to do that too. So please tune in for my next video I do, and it will probably be in a week's time. Try and keep following me if you can, because the thing is, from doing the being a naturopath now, I also have done iridology, so I have photos of my eyes that I'm going to be putting up there, and I want to show people how our body is reflected in our eyes, and I want you to see firsthand how my eyes will change in the course of this journal that we do. I also will be putting up another video soon on one of my clients recently that was classified with diabetes, and I have her blood tests which she's given me to show, and through eating raw food and changing her eating lifestyle, she's now not classified as diabetes anymore. So that's a great big high five to her, and great. And so stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy my journey as much as I am going to enjoy it, my learnings, my cookings, the new lifestyles, things I have to adapt to, and I want to share it with everyone. So once again, thanks a lot. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you in a week's time. Ta-da.